When you play Street Fighter V, do you suffer from tilt? When dealing with hard times and frustrations, do you have a hard time managing your emotions? You are like me, and like almost everyone who plays this game. When dealing with something really hard, it's absolutely normal to go through this. But this gets in the way of your progress and causes you to lose more games than you should. I want to share some of my experiences with this, and hopefully this gives some insight and inspires you to look at yourself and your gameplay differently. I get asked this all the time, and I find that some really good players are just kneecapping themselves. This won't be the end-all be-all guide to dealing with tilt, but a reminder that you are not just a number given to you by a game that's trying to appraise you and it's unable to give a proper appraisal. Let's first talk about why we might feel tilt. The network of academic and scholastic esports federation defines tilt as a gaming term is associated with frustration, rage, deterioration of gameplay ability, an emotional state where these social emotion skills are tested. Tilt can show itself in a lot of ways. You'll hear people start to rage, you'll hear people start talking bad about their opponents, they'll start to talk bad about themselves. Sometimes you'll slam your desk, sometimes you'll slam your controller, but there are times where you just get quiet and sigh. For me, my tilt comes in stages. When I look back on my clips, I see the change start to happen. I go from making jokes and talking well about myself to not joking and starting to question what my opponent is doing. For an example, if I make a great play, I'll say, "Chat, y'all gonna act like I'm not the best at this game? I'm so disgusting." And it will change to, "What is this guy doing?" To, he actually did that? Yeah. Or, "These players, I can't deal with them." And if things continue to go bad, it changes from that to, "I shouldn't have lost to this person. Or, "I'm playing so bad. I'm screwing up." Or my personal favorite, "This game is dog shit. God." And once we get to this point, soon after is, "God, I am such a waste of space. Why do I exist?" Or, "God damn it. Why do I suck so much?" It's obvious to tell when I'm tilted at the later stages, but understanding when tilt is going to start is super important to managing your tilt. So we ask the question, why do we get tilted? It's not always losing, because sometimes we'll be tilted and win. For me, it's a lot of things. Let me share some stuff about me with you so that you can share some stuff about you with yourself. So I've hit the peak of 1796 in this game, and I think that's pretty good. Most of the people who watch these videos are trying to get to this point and will look at me as being a higher player. I want my videos to help you get to your goals. So I feel bad in saying this, because if you're a platinum or gold player, you're going to hear me and you might feel bad. But this is not meant to make you feel bad. It's sharing about how I feel about myself. I don't feel like I'm a great player compared to my peers. I have a lot of peers that are pro players, semi-pro players, or just high-level online players. I have a few friends that have made top 8 Evo. I have friends that are content creators in the same space. I have mutuals that I look up to as players and have reached high levels that I will never hit. And I want them to look at me favorably. I want to feel like I'm in the same space as they are. On top of it, I like to make content that helps and teaches. But how can I help anybody if I can't help myself? How can I teach anyone when I feel like I suck? That is a lot to think about and a lot to manage while I'm trying to check DJ Drive Rush. But it goes deeper than that. I want content creation to be my job. I want that to be how I pay rent. I want that to be how I grow a business. I have grown a lot since June 2023. I'm very proud of that. I don't talk a lot about these things on the channel, but it means a lot to me when people say that I helped them. I played Final Fantasy XIV with this player some 10 years ago, and they popped into my stream one day and they said, "Hey, are you Kail that plays Final Fantasy XIV?" We chopped it up a bit, and they told me that they were trying to learn Jury and they came across my video. What are the odds that when you want to learn a character, I'm the name that pops up on Google and YouTube? That's a huge ego booster. But with that, when the bad feelings comes, it yo-yos, and I feel just as bad as I feel good when things are going right. So if that makes me feel an 80 out of 100 on the good feels level, when I feel bad, I'm gonna feel 80 out of 100 on the bad feels level. My brain says if you want to be a successful content creator, you need more points. The more points you have, the more respect you get. The more respect you get, the more people will look at your information as being valid. With that comes more views, more money. With more money comes expansion of your channel, which means bigger business. Eventually, I want to branch off and make 3 or 4 more channels. I don't have a family, but I want this to be a way that I can provide for a family. My mother is getting up there in age. She wants to retire. And I want this to be the way that I can help her out. I hate my 9-to-5 job. I don't feel respected, I'm not properly compensated, and it does not pay well. To be honest, without the compensation from Twitch and YouTube, I don't know how I would pay my bills. This is not a pity party. I am not asking for anything. I'm just sharing with you how I feel. This is not a call to action. I'm not asking for bits and subs or super chats. Of course, like and subscribe if you want to support me. This is the weight of what I go through when playing a game of Street Fighter 6. Of course, you don't always think about these things, but when things start to get bad, those feelings start to come up. When I start to tilt, I stand still. I stop reacting to things. I get very predictable in my defense. I start autopiloting my offense. And how could I be expected to do anything else? These are all the things that are on my mind. I'm a failure. I'm a failure to my mother. My peers don't respect me. My channel's not going to grow. I'm trying to teach people how to play the game, but you suck. Why would they come to you? There's 50 people watching you live fall apart, and you feel powerless to stop it. And I wish someone could give me the answers because I need help. Everyone comes to me for help, but I need help too. And even as I talk about this, I feel myself get stressed. If this is what I feel during a match, and I'm focusing on that, how do I expect to do anything right in game? Your story is going to be different from mine, but I'm sure you can relate in some way. And if you can relate to these things, and these are the things that you might be feeling during your games when things are going bad, it's time for a break. Don't give me that crap about grinding. This idea of grinding does so much damage to anyone trying to get to their goal. Yes, you should always put more time in. Yes, you need practice. You need reps. But if you're unable to play focus or have focus training, it doesn't matter. I equate this to going to the gym and having bad form. If you spend time in the gym and you do exercises and lift weights, you will get results. The more time you put in, the better the results will be. That makes sense. But if you're going to the gym 5 days a week and you have bad form on everything that you do, you might see some gains, but it's not going to be as good as if your form was good. But having bad form can also hurt yourself and set you back. Playing tilted is like having bad form. If I play for 10 hours, but I'm tilted for 8 hours, I might lose more points than I gained. The more points I lose, the worse I feel. The worse I feel, the more I self-destruct. The more I self-destruct, the more points I lose. This cycle reinforces how I feel about myself. I suck. It's important to realize what your journey is and what struggles are on that journey, because now I can start to attack the cause of the problems, not the symptoms. Maybe it's time for me to leave the job that I have and find something else. Maybe then I won't feel so unappreciated. I wake up most days at 5:30 to get to work at 7 o'clock. I work in a job that I hate until 3 or 4 o'clock. I come home, I relax a little bit, I cook dinner, and then I stream tired from 7 to 10, sometimes 11 o'clock at night. After that, I edit till about 1 o'clock, sometimes 2 o'clock. I sleep for 3 hours and I do it all over again. How can I expect to play well when I'm only getting 3 hours of rest and feeling all of that? I self-medicate and drink a lot of coffee. When the coffee wears off, I realize it and I accept that I'm probably not going to play as well as I did before. Maybe then it's time to unwind and maybe go into training mode. The obvious comments would be, well, Kail, you need to rest, you need more sleep. Then you guys would get less videos, and I can't afford to do that. Having ADHD, it's already really hard to put out videos because it's hard for me to focus on things. I often get asked, Kail, why don't you do coaching on the side? And the truth is, I don't feel like a worthy coach. And that would be a good way to make some cash on the side and maybe take away some of the stress from my job. Taking some of that stress away would help me play a little bit better. I could make content out of it. So what about you? I want you to take a second and think about what are the things that you feel when you're tilted. And you might not be able to recognize it yet. And the key word is yet. Yes, I know, Bison's cheap. Kuma does so much damage. Lily gameplay is so brain dead. I understand. Winning is important to you. That's why you feel the way you do. You had expectations and they weren't met, and that's frustrating. I understand that. But what were your expectations? Was it a player that you lost to that you feel you should beat? Is it a gameplay style that you find annoying because it should be easy to deal with, but it's not? Is it a character that's too strong and you feel powerless to deal with it? What does it matter if you drop from 1500 MR to 1300? Why is that number so important to you? Why is being diamond rank so important to you? Why is being 1600 MR important to you? What do you feel about yourself when you drop from 1600 to 1400 MR? This is the root to understanding your tilt. There is something you want from the game that you are not getting. What is that thing and why do you want it? And how does it make you feel when you don't have it? To reiterate, I want to be at a high enough rank that I feel respected by my peers and the people that I look up to. I want that rank to reflect my skill, and I want others to feel confident that they can come to me and learn from me. I want those things because I want to turn my content creation into a business, to be able to provide for those I care about and to find fulfillment in my life. That is why that number is important to me. Why is that number important to you? The question that you would ask me is, how do I think about these things when I can't focus? How do I remember to take a break and stop when I'm already raging out? I remember a friend of mine asked me if I meditated, and I said to them, I can't meditate. They asked me, what does that mean? I said, every time I try to quiet my brain and to focus on one thing, I can't do it. They said, Kail, that's meditation. I was confused by this. I can't meditate. What do you mean this is meditation? They said the act of trying to meditate is meditating. The way they explained it to me is that if my goal is to do 10 push-ups and I can only do 5, did I do the push-ups? I said, no, I didn't reach the 10. They said, Kail, did you do the push-ups? Of course I did, but I didn't reach my goal. Well, come back tomorrow and we'll try to hit 10 again. And then it made sense. Trying to work out and not reaching a goal doesn't mean you failed at working out. You'll still get stronger. You'll come back. You'll try it again. You'll get stronger. And eventually you'll hit your goal. My understanding is meditating is just like this. Now, I'm not telling you guys to meditate. I hear it's good. I don't do it. I'm asking you all to be mindful of your mental state. And if you're unable to do it, that doesn't mean you can't do it. That just means you need to come back tomorrow and try it again. When you realize you forgot to check yourself, you have to go, I need to check myself. And then you try to check yourself. You fail again, you remind yourself, and you try to check yourself. Over time, you'll get better and better until you can check yourself. For me, it took many years. I played Final Fantasy at the highest level. I played Overwatch at a pretty low level. I played Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 6. I dabbled in speed running with Celeste. I like doing things that pushes myself, but with that comes frustration. And it's only until 2024 where I'm starting to see some benefits of this. I'm 39. I'm an old man. I have a lot of times at bat. The more times at bat, the more home runs you could possibly hit. I wish I had this knowledge sooner because I could have solved this sooner. So when you're tilted, take a second. Why am I feeling the way that I do? It's going to be hard to be honest with yourself, but it's okay. The next time it happens, you'll be a little bit more honest. You'll start to recognize little hints, like you start to get quiet, you start to sigh more. For me, I bounce my knee a lot when I'm anxious. If I end a session tilted, a lot of times I'll spend time before I close my eyes to go to bed and think about it. I allow myself to feel how I feel. I let myself feel however I feel for the night. But tomorrow when I wake up, we'll find a solution. And that's what I say, and that's what I try to do. Allowing yourself to just let yourself be consumed by the feelings allow you to understand it. You feel like a bad player? That's okay. You feel like a bad player because all your friends are a higher rank and you constantly lose to them? They'll lose to someone else where they'll feel like a bad player too. That's normal. But tomorrow, when we start again, I want you to think about what does it mean to be a good player and what skills do you not have? Is there a technique that you need to learn? Do you feel like your neutral's not good? What does it mean to have good neutral? Do you do enough damage? What combos do you need to learn to do more damage? Well, tomorrow we'll learn that combo. You know the combo, but you can't do it. Your execution's not good. That's okay. Before you play, work on the combo. After you're done, work on the combo. In a week, you'll have that combo and you'll lose less games. So if there's 50 reasons to tilt, hey, that's one less one. For me, it's confidence. I know I'm a good player, but I don't know that I'm a good player. Does that make sense? Maybe it's not confidence. I think comfort is a better word. If I felt comfortable in my level of play, I don't think I would get as mad as I do. Let me explain. I don't think that I am much higher of a player than 1800. At my very best, I think I might be able to hit 1900 on a good day. I can see a path where I can improve my skill to get to that point, but I don't think I have it in me to go down that path. I have a few things that I need to get better on. My shimmies, I need to get better on baiting reversals, matchups I need to learn. My execution's good, my knowledge of my character is good, but I learn slowly. Once I get it, I got it. But I'm a slow learner. I don't have the time to get to that point and to make content and have that 9 to 5 and get more than 3 hours of sleep at night. But if I was able to hit 1800, 1850, I think I would be okay with that because it doesn't matter how low I get. I know I can get back up there. If I went from 1850 to 1500, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get back to 1850. If I only get back to 1800, that's okay as well. It's where I think I should be. But if I dropped to 1500 and stayed at 1500, I would feel kind of bad about that. That would be literally impossible for me to do. That would be my comfort point, that it doesn't matter. As long as I can entertain at that point, I would be okay. Would I get frustrated? Of course. Would I get angry? Absolutely. But it would be 100% easier for me to shake off. So what's your level of comfort that you would need to be so that you could stop being so hard on yourself? As I give you insight about me and my struggles, I hope that it gives you insight in your struggles. But the last thing I want to talk about is being good to yourself. Here's a call to action. If you got this far, hit the like button to let me know that you listened to this whole big rant about myself and my life and my struggles. Leave a heart in the comment section below and share in the comment section if you can relate to this or if you can see yourself in me. Because I'm curious how many people won't get to this point, but they will go to the comment section and try to show care for me. When I talk about this on stream, people usually say kind things to me. They'll say how good of a player I am, how I inspire them. They wouldn't have got to the point that they're at if it wasn't for me. They wouldn't even be playing the game if it wasn't for me. People will show me care and love and support when I am down. But you need to do that for yourself. You need to be your biggest supporter. I want you all to listen to this next part because this is the real important part. Not only should you support yourself, but you should also try and support the other players that you play as much as you can. You should support your friends. When they're down, you circle around them and you show them love. If they are unable to show self-care the same way that you guys show care for me, if they can't drown out the negative voice, I want you to be the positive voice in their ear. But if you can find some way to be the light in your friends, I know it's an ugly time for them. I know it could be annoying. I know it could be triggering. But if you can find a way to just send them a DM to let them know that you care and let them know how good they are and hit them up the next day, do it. On days where they're of sound mind, maybe play a set and talk to them about the set. Actually have conversations about the matchups. Don't do it when they're tilted. Do it when they're sound-minded. Be the big brother, be the big sister, be the family to your friends that you should be to yourself. Practicing showing that care for someone else will help you show care for yourself. Your ego knows you want to be good at Street Fighter, so instead of quitting, it goes, these players suck, this game is dog shit. It's not me, it's everyone else. At the end of the day, remind yourself where you started and where you are now. Remind yourself that you're a better player than you were in June of 2023. This game is going to try to appraise your skill and your rank and your value, but it is unable to do so accurately. Don't believe me? I went 1-9 in my placements as Chun-Li, and I got Diamond 1. I barely did anything on JP in my placements. It put me Diamond 3. How many of you are not in Diamond and struggling to get to that rank? I got there by winning one game. Tell me this game understands how to value skill. The biggest realization I can give to you is that your struggles are not only your struggles. You are going through the same things that other people are going through. I have a friend of mine that has hit 2,000 MR, has won tournaments, has gotten top 3 in majors, and I watch them fall apart on stream because they have to deal with Kail, because Kail is so annoying. And they hit up Twitter and they talk about how crap they are at the game. I haven't reached their heights, but I go through the same thing. And I'm sure you, yes you, the one in gold, you also go through the same thing. Don't forget, when Punk got second in Street Fighter V against Tokido, he cried. He felt like he failed. You might feel that too. Mena was having a really hard time in Street Fighter 6 and said he needed to do better. And then he won the next tournament he was in and has been dominating since. Struggling is natural. Only through conflict, only through struggles do we evolve. We don't hold L's as a loss, we hold L's as a lesson. The best victories begin with adversity. But if you need a reminder, let me be your reminder. Bad times come and they suck, but bad times also go. Some days are bad. The sun will rise, but the sun will also set. And when it rises again, a new day starts. And that's a chance to do it better. You can do this. And if there is a time where you feel like you can't overcome your tilt, if you feel like you are too far gone, if you are losing game after game, and you are unable to regulate your emotions and you are lashing out, the game needs to turn off because there's no value from playing in that state. You can't control your feelings, but you can control how you deal with it. Rest up, recoup, we'll come back tomorrow. This is a video I wanted to make for a long time because it's been on my mind for a long time. I finally started to see some change in my behavior and I'm still struggling, but I wanted to share what I went through and hopefully it can help you guys get over what you're going through. I'm curious to hear if you like these kind of rant videos or if you just like the guides that I usually do. Maybe these are the kind of videos I would do on another channel. I would love to hear your insight. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day and I hope to see you in the next video or one of my streams. Have a good one.